Hey guys, Dr. Brian Mowll, the Diabetes Coach, and I'm back with another episode of the Diabetes Coach on the Go. And today I want to talk to you about why I don't like the idea of intuitive eating. Intuitive eating is something that I see and hear about constantly online, on Instagram. This is commonly recommended by a lot of dietitians and weight loss coaches. And I think it's a bit of a rebellion to the idea of dieting, which I understand. I don't think that dieting to lose weight is necessarily the best idea either, particularly if you've failed in the past and you don't do it correctly. So this idea of intuitive eating basically says that you should listen to your body, and when you're hungry, eat. When you're not hungry, don't eat. If you want to have something sweet, go for it. If you want to have pizza, then eat pizza. And stop denying yourself and living in a state of limitation and this negative reinforcement of I feel bad because I ate this, because I went off my diet and did this. So I understand the rationale for it. I'm not into the idea of shaming, and I don't think we should be shaming ourselves or feel shame based on our food choices. I don't think we should shame others based on their food choices. But I think the idea of intuitive eating, particularly for those who have diabetes, prediabetes, metabolic syndrome, some sort of metabolic issue, can be really dangerous. What I've found is that approximately 75 to 80% of the clients that I've worked with over the years and the people that I've consulted and spoken with online have some sort of food addiction or some sort of aberrant relationship with food. So what that means is that they really are not making good food choices when they're trying to sort of just follow their intuition. So the problem with intuitive eating when you have a food addiction is it's a bit like saying, well, don't limit yourself and say, I can't smoke, or I can't snort cocaine, or I can't watch pornography, or I can't go blow my entire paycheck in a casino. If I feel like that's what I want to do, then I should do that. I shouldn't feel shamed for doing those things. And I just don't agree with that, especially when, again, there is a food addiction or some sort of aberrant or faulty relationship with food, which most people I've found, most people that I work with have. Now, if you are an 18-year-old, fit, lean, active man or woman, then you can probably do intuitive eating. And as long as you're eating healthy, whole foods and you're trying to avoid processed, refined junk food and so forth, that may work perfectly for you. And you don't have to be 18. I know people who are 35, 45, who are in great shape. They're lean. Their metabolism is super healthy. They go to the gym, 5, 6, 7 times a week. They have good muscle mass. They are metabolically healthy, and they can do intuitive eating, and it works just fine for them. But most of the people who are being given this advice to stop dieting and just follow your intuition by dietitians and weight loss coaches aren't in that situation. In fact, most of them are either overweight or obese, or they're in some sort of metabolic disaster. I've tried intuitive eating myself, and I can tell you it's an abysmal failure. If you tell me I can eat as many nuts as I want, for example, I'll eat 2 gigantic canisters of almonds a day. I'll eat like 5,000 calories of almonds, and I'll gain weight very quickly. Intuitive eating for many of my clients and people I've worked with, doesn't work either. So I think we've got to be really careful with that. What I recommend, on the other hand, is a balanced eating approach where you actually make some decisions ahead of time. You do some research. You find out what works for you from a satiety perspective, in other words, what makes you feel full and good, from an inflammatory perspective, making sure you're cutting out the foods that drive and cause inflammation, making sure that you're not eating foods that raise your blood sugar, like processed refined grains, whole grains, starchy vegetables. For many people, that would include beans and legumes. For many people, beans and legumes are okay. An abundance of sweet fruits like pineapple and mango and so forth can oftentimes raise people's blood sugar. So we've got to watch those foods. And what I recommend is sit down and strategically write out what you're going to eat. Not necessarily to lose weight, but to be healthy. Now, there is a time and a place where we want to employ weight loss, therapeutic weight loss dietary strategies as well. I don't see anything wrong with that. I think the problem comes in with the shaming and when people don't have a good plan to follow and they don't have a good support system and they don't follow through, and then they feel like a failure. So to me, the key isn't just saying, you know what, eat whatever you want, eat intuitively. Most of us don't even know when we're hungry. That's the problem. So I have a lot of clients who they'll eat dinner and then an hour later they feel hungry again. Now, are they really hungry or do they just want to eat something? And does it matter? Well, of course it matters, because an hour after you eat dinner, it's impossible to be truly hungry. Your body does not need or want food again. And if you say, well, I'm hungry, so I'm going to eat something else. I'll have some, let's say it's going to be healthy. I'll have some berries, or I'll have a smoothie, or I'll have, a piece of low carb, chocolate cake, or a fat bomb or something like that. Well, those are all excess caloric energy, excess macronutrients that you just don't need, and it overwhelms our metabolism and leads to either weight gain or hyperinsulinemia, raises our blood insulin levels, or will lead to directly to high blood sugar. So many people don't know when they're hungry, and that's the problem. Until you can really tune in to true hunger, I don't recommend eating when hungry. Again, the key is establish a good plan. Sit down, write out a good dietary plan for yourself, a good nutrition plan, maybe that's a better word, with the foods that you want to eat and cut out the foods that you don't want to eat, and then follow that. I recommend making the decision once, and I'm going to do a follow-up video on what that actually means, but instead of trying to make the decision at every meal, make the decision on what you're going to eat and not eat once, at least for the next week or the next month, or until you reach your goals. So you make that decision once. That's a set decision. You put some importance and some energy behind it, and then you follow through with your plan. And if you need support, if you need guidance, if you need help, if you need accountability, then that's okay. We all need that. Find a good system, a Facebook group, a program, a friend, a mentor, someone to provide that accountability and support for you, and then make sure you follow through with it. So I don't recommend intuitive eating. I think it can be a disaster for people with food addiction, for people with diabetes and metabolic syndrome, for people who have an aberrant or faulty relationship with food, for people who don't really know when they're hungry or when they're not hungry. In other words, when they feel like eating, there's many reasons why they might eat, not just because they want nutrients or because they're hungry. If that's you, don't do intuitive eating. It's going to be a disaster, and it's going to end up causing you to spiral out of control most of the time. Now, of course, there's exceptions. Let me know what you guys think, though. If you think I'm wrong, put a comment below and let's get a conversation started. If intuitive eating worked for you, if you said, you know what, I'm done with dieting and I just started eating when I was hungry and I started eating the foods that I wanted to eat and I lost 45 pounds and now I'm lean, fit, and active and I no longer have diabetes, put that in the comments below. I would love to hear your story. If intuitive eating did cause problems for you, I would love to know that too. And if you have a diet approach that actually worked for you, a nutrition approach, an eating plan that's worked for you, share it below. Let's get some conversations started, and I'd love to get some feedback from you. I want to let you guys know about a program that I have available too for those of you who need more information, need more support. It's called Diabetes Essentials. And there's a link below in the description where you can actually watch my 10 episode or 10 module Diabetes Essentials Masterclass absolutely free. So look for that link below this video. Click on that. I love to share this information with people, and I go through everything you need to know about good diabetes and blood sugar management in that 10-part Diabetes Essentials Masterclass. So also, if you like this video, make sure you hit the like button, put some comments below, and definitely subscribe to this channel so you get alerted every time I release a new video. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. This is Dr. Brian Mowll, the Diabetes Coach. I look forward to hearing your comments below, and I'll be back soon with another Diabetes Coach on the go. Bye-bye.